that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to the #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. I am Dylan Blight. Joining me today, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, it's great to be here on Platinum Explosion. Just you and me again.
Just as always, just me and Ash. I know some of you probably just getting sick of me and Ash. That's why we've decided to cancel the show.
What? Guys, I'm here. Is E3 over? I escaped. For some reason, there were circumstances. I got stuck in this this crate. There was a line of gummy bears leading to a crate, and then I heard Dylan's voice, and I don't know why. It was the last thing I heard, and then he slammed it down on me, and then I got taken away, and I fought through a tundra, a desert. I came through a jungle with snapping piranha turtles, and then I fought through here. The things I had to do to get the flight back to Australia, and then nobody knew where Shepparton was, and
Accurate.
and he laughed.
Joining us also, Ciaran Marchant.
Hey, what's up? What is this show? I'm glad I got back for the platinum recording at least, I guess.
11 episodes. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's noticed that I wasn't here.
No,
Yeah, I know, right?
completely no tweets whatsoever.
No hashtags, nothing. Maybe I'll be a disappointment, maybe my absence became a bigger personality than I can ever be.
I'm trying to think of someone who's had a disappointing comeback recently.
I was just reading about Chris Hardwick, so
Wow, okay. That's fine.
taking it there. What? It's fine.
It's
fine.
I was removed from this show of my own choices.
Yeah. Philip, whatever his fucking name was, had a disappointing return to his YouTube channel too. But
I
I
thought you were going to leave it. I thought you were
Yeah, I
going to leave
was
it.
going to leave it, but that was right open. That was just a little sneaky.
So did
sneaky,
anybody
sneaky
get
one.
any new achievements lately?
Trophies, Ciaran? Trophies.
Sorry?
Trophies. I know when all you do is play Overwatch, you forget what
Oh,
they're...
trophies. Right.
We use
Yeah.
controllers and
Yeah, trophies. Cool.
TVs.
That's really cool, yeah. Yeah, okay.
I platinumed Overwatch while I was away.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What character do you mean?
Lee Wow.
Lee
PS4
Wow.
PS4 exclusive character.
Missed a new character release, obviously. That's impressive. Okay, cool. I'll have to play a game with you sometimes when
You will.
Blizzard
There's
and
no
PlayStation
crossplay.
enable crossplay.
We're all fucked. All right, let's get into this. Is of course a PlayStation podcast where Ciaran makes appearances every 6th full moon and then joins us to talk about the games. And every episode in between, Ash just attempts to help me survive.
You know what? I really enjoyed the episode where Ash had a really strong opinion and got really annoyed and just got into the argument with you. That was the only one I could catch up on in the taxi here. It was amazing.
That was a good one, wasn't it? That was, what episode number was that?
That was episode 71. So 2 episodes ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you know what episode number you're on.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, let's jump into the first news story. God of War is getting a new game plus August 20th, confirmed on the PS blog by Aaron
DLC.
Kaufman. Yes, I fucking hate you so much. The community strategist at Santa Monica Studio, New Game Plus will unsurprisingly require you have beat the game first, then you can dive back into the world again, yelling, "Boy!" It's a bit more than New Game Plus, though. You'll carry over all your armor, enchantments, talismans, resources, and abilities. But you're also going to be getting new gear that you'll be able to collect, and there'll be a new thing called Skag Slap. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's going to be a new item that you collect to upgrade your new fancy gear. And then apparently enemies are going to have some new tricks up their sleeves, which I believe just translates to they're going to have a couple new moves to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more interesting. And you'll also be able to skip cutscenes on your next amount of
That will be I think of everything, that'll be the most jarring thing, I think. 'Cause it's
Skipping
like,
cutscenes?
yeah, because it's all one shot. So
Yeah,
then when
true.
you skip a cutscene, you're going to be jumping. It'll be like a jump cut.
They
might put, like,
didn't
a
have it
loading-
in the original
Unless they've got like a
version, so
loading screen.
They might have
That's
a
how you
loading
edit the
screen.
game. They're like, it's one long shot. That's why we didn't want to allow people to skip cutscenes, because it interrupts their game mechanic of it all being one shot.
Yeah.
Fucked them. Got them now. I think this is pretty... Well, first off, I hate this news story for one particular reason. And Ash did make a joke about it, and that's because E3 predictions, the whole fucking... they'll definitely do DLC. And I was like, they just said that they're not going to do DLC. Well, I'll stick to my prediction anyway because, whatever fucking reason. I'm sitting here like rolling my eyes like, I literally just told you that they said they're not doing DLC. You're an idiot. You're a fool. What are you doing? Come E3. New Game Plus mode. That's technically DLC, says referee Jaden Pryor.
Shout out to Jaden
Fuck
Pryor.
all he is.
Shout out to Jaden Pryor. What a guy.
Fucking idiot.
What a guy. Is it like, is this is it for the God of War community? Is this enough? Like, I'm like, okay, cool. It's a New Game Plus thing. I don't think
Did you finish it yet?
I've not finished it. And I don't think in my time of playing games, I've ever activated New Game Plus in anything.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever just been like, yeah, I'll start again. Maybe it's a lie. I might feel that's a lie. Well, I've prestige in Call of Duty, but that's kind of like New Game Plus. But
I couldn't list the amount of games I couldn't. There's lots. I probably couldn't even list them all. But like at the moment, I've been playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and like for instance, I know when I originally did the platinum for that on PS3, because I played it through on normal the first time, and then you could do hard mode on New Game Plus. So that was a New Game Plus, and most of the times I've done New Game Plus, it's been games like that where I've played it through on normal the first time, and then they've had the ability to New Game Plus it and do the hard difficulty, and I've used that to do my to get the trophy for hard.
what I think is crazy
A
is
New Game
people-
Plus Witcher.
is just
Where is it
people
going?
that's like finishes the game, takes a break from the game, and then comes back from New Game Plus, and it's like, if you get a New Game Plus, just do it like immediately, so you don't have any skill drop off, or it's going to be even harder.
Maybe that's what you want, though. You want to re-experience it, and you need to be a bit fresh.
Yeah. Horizon's New Game Plus mode was added in as DLC last year as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a trend here. Now, this is one of my things with this is that when they put New Game Plus in Horizon, they actually added a trophy for it, even though it was a free update. But they didn't mention if they was going to add a trophy for this. I personally wouldn't touch this if there probably isn't a trophy. If there was a trophy, a gold one or something for doing New Game Plus, maybe one day, this kind of thing. Because I wouldn't do it tomorrow because it's still fresh
Before
in my
the next
mind,
one
but
comes out.
Yeah, but it's like a year or two, or maybe as you
Weren't
say.
you already pulling your hair
full
out
us and
over
stuff.
some of the boss fights towards the end of the game?
Yeah, but you can New Game Plus it. You take over all your gear, and I could New Game Plus it on easy or some shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fly through the game at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and just
murdering people would be great.
just murder people and enjoying the easiness of slaughtering people, which is fun sometimes in those sorts of games, especially because I can't say it without spoilers, but I'm wondering if the specific spoilery weapon, which I believe most people should know by now, but I'm still not going to spoil it. The spoilery weapon would carry over to the very start of the game if New Game Plus it, which would be interesting. I'm not sure if that, you know what I mean? Though,
Can't
Ash?
imagine it would be.
Yeah, I know it's hard to imagine how that works, but
I hadn't thought of that.
yeah, it's the interesting part of it because it would make it'd make a lot of enemies at the start of the game just easy, very easy.
Yeah, and then from a story point of view, that really wouldn't work.
Well, New Game Plus
Unless
isn't
they
about the
changed it.
story.
That's the
Yeah,
well, yeah, that's true.
Because
because you're gonna have all your
skip
armor
the
and everything else,
cutscenes.
which won't make sense. So, but it's I appreciate the amount of effort they've put into it as well, which is nice. The gear, the new stuff, changing up enemies, making it so it's not just, hey, you can start the game again with some of your skill points, and because that's your typical New Game Plus. Start the game again, you get to keep your skills, blah blah blah. Most games make you lose your gear, and so you can keep your skills though, or some shit like that.
Yep.
I think the Witcher was like that. It was like you can keep all your skills New Game Plus, but you lose all your gear and your weapons, and you have to start afresh from that. But even then, because my when I did Witcher 3 on whatever the hardest difficulty was, when I did that run last year, I kept reading different stories for the best way to do it. A lot of people were like, just start the game as a fresh save on hard. And then a lot of people were saying do it on New Game Plus. The difference was if you do New Game Plus, the enemies are scaled up. So like the enemies from the start of the game, it start at like level, whatever, 30, 60, whatever the fuck it is. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, but like even if they're higher level, I've still got my skills and stuff like that. So surely it would be easier because I'm used to fighting with a certain set of skills now. And I was like, that first 5 hours, The Witcher though, even on New Game Plus with the skills was just brutal. That was after that point it was fine, but it's like because they take all your weapons off you and there's like fucking what is this sword, it's rubbish, the fuck I can't hurt anyone. This New Game Plus mode will also be good for people who are wanting an excuse just to go through it again now because photo mode,
Yeah.
because a lot of people probably finished it in that first week and then photo mode was patched in after that. Yeah, so now this is a good excuse. Oh well, I can go through the game again and I can take all my fancy snaps. So there's the thing. All right, moving on. Last week we talked about The Quiet Man. I said there was going to be an event coming for it. Now I keep bringing up this game. If anyone hasn't caught on by now, I do have a slight interest in this game. That's why I keep bringing up the stories for it. I don't think it's like mainstream. Did you catch The Quiet Man news from last week? But I'm like, yes, I watched. Give me the.
Don't worry. I think we're pretty much the only podcast in the world talking about this game.
I'm sure there's
we should rename the podcast The Quiet Man Explosion.
We could probably keep Platinum Explosion. I think that's a good title. But, thanks. Just in case it gets copyrighted by someone. Out of whack. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just feel...
Don't worry. We'll do a Quiet Man fan podcast.
There you go.
There you go.
For a 3-hour game or whatever.
We'll break it down minute by minute.
So we got a 40 minutes of gameplay this past week as well as a bunch of details. And by a bunch, I mean actually quite a lot because until this past week, we knew fuck all about the game.
There was just that cryptic as fuck E3 trailer.
Yes, they're like this thing where everyone was watching it and they're like, that comes up the title screen. It was, okay, what is that? What was it? I'm very fucking confused. So they did it on Square Enix streamed it on their YouTube channel. They talked about the game for like 40 minutes or something like that. The whole event was hour and a half-ish, 90 minutes. And then they actually did 40 minutes live gameplay, which I think, considering they're saying it's only supposed to be a 3-hour game.
That's a lot.
Quite a lot.
That's a lot.
Quite a lot to show off your game, I'd say. Imagine if Telltale were like, this episode of our game's about 2 hours, 3 hours. Here's 40 minutes of it.
Yeah, just took a big chunk of that.
That's a lot.
You just took like
2
the
chapters.
good part. You just took like a good section. You've left the boring middle section of the episode, and we've got the end to look forward to. It's like, oh, okay.
Yep. So just the screenshot. The description for the game, the synopsis got updated, and that is now unraveling within a single night. Players take the role of deaf protagonist Dane, which I find to be quite a funny name. Dane, because it sounds like Aussie Bogan. Dane. As he fights his way through a, quote, soundless world, which is odd. They're just saying he's deaf. I get it. It would be soundless. To discover the motives behind the kidnapping of a songstress from a mysterious masked man. Embark on an adrenaline-fueled, motion picture-like experience, which can be completed in one sitting, which we brought up last week, and me and Ash were like, how fucking long can the game be if they're saying it can be completed in one sitting? They're now saying it's going to take up around 3 hours. I think we can all agree that is one sitting acceptable, yeah?
Yeah.
So normally they overestimate as well. So, like, that's normally 3 hours of, like, you do everything. Mm-hmm. So...
You can probably rush it 2 hours.
Probably rush 2 with it.
Yeah, well, that's 3 hours is them being like, if there's any collectibles and shit like that, I guess. And get all them trophies.
If he's deaf, how does he know that she's a songstress?
You look at people?
I mean, she's sitting at a piano and she's singing.
Yeah, but a songstress is a very particular word, you know? I wouldn't look at somebody at a piano singing and being like, I'd be like,
She's in like if
You're a
you
musician.
watch the thing, she's in like a 50s-esque fancy
Jessica Rabbit
bar with a huge piano up on stage, and she's in some fancy frock, and everyone's sitting around in their circular tables staring at this lady up on stage behind a piano going, I'm mouthing my audio listeners, I'm moving my mouth. So
maybe we should look into this. Maybe he's not as quite as deaf as he's letting on.
So now you're trying to make the game. It's not about someone kidnapping her or anything like this, a masked villain wearing a bird mask, which is what I took it as. You're now saying it's a game about a protagonist we play as who's pretending to be deaf.
A quiet man.
That's true. It's not a silent man.
No, it's a quiet man. Maybe the volume's just turned down on his hearing aid, and if we solve the problem and turn that up...
Find the batteries.
Exactly. You just win the game there and then in the first scene. You wake
I
up
would
in his bedroom.
apologize to any deaf listeners, but they can't hear us.
I would like to apologize to anybody who's friends or family with deaf listeners for that joke.
But if you're listening to this in the lounge room, once again, they can't hear you.
Maybe don't use any hand symbols during this section. Just kind of like, oh, it's gone white noise. Make up your own section of the podcast.
There you go. It was just, sorry. Okay, so yeah, protagonist Dane. They put up a bunch of screenshots as well, and the gameplay. Watch the gameplay. It's interesting. My opinions of it are because it basically melds. I'll say one thing it's doing really well is because it starts with the game and it's you know, it's a film. It's real actors. They're moving around. Some of the acting isn't great, but whatever. I mean, I can take it as kind of a weird B movie type story with kind of shoddy acting. But then, so he goes into this alleyway near the start of the game, which is what we saw in the 30-second E3 teaser. Like he walks in there and then he starts hitting someone. And that's when they said the quiet man and was all like, what the fuck? But at the start, the actors walk in and he gets into these arguments with these like gangster dudes or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be, back and forth. Well, they're trying to argue with him, and then the Dane's just standing there like with his hand just like symboling, can't fucking hear you, dickhead, like being really aggressive about it. Jesus, calm down. So then of course the gangster dudes come in to fight him or whatever, and then the camera kind of sweeps back behind his body and it transitions really nicely to CGI characters. And you can tell you can obviously tell the difference between the film stuff and the CGI stuff, but it still looks really good. And the transition was quite good, how it just kind of moved the camera back and then it switched to this gameplay part. And that's when the game becomes this brawler. So like a button mashy kind of, he's kicking ass to these dudes. Wasn't great. However, I don't know how far off the game is. So I'm just gonna presume they fix a lot of problems because a lot of the animations were weird. Like he wasn't connecting properly. It was just odd. Like the character models themselves looked good. They looked like the actors. That was all fine. Everything else was off. And then the camera is also kind of like how do you describe it? Like Resident Evil camera. So it's like
it's fixed.
Kind of
it's like in like a fixed position.
It's like in a fixed position and you're moving, but then at times you'd walk and you'd want the camera to like move to a different position or be able to move it, and then it wouldn't. So I can just imagine playing it and I would have been getting really frustrated. Like, the fucking camera, I can't see the dude I'm hitting off screen. What am I doing? This is really annoying. These are all the issues though I think that can be fixed before the game comes out. Especially a lot of the animation stuff can be tidied up. So that's what the game, for the most part, I believe gameplay wise is going to be. This brawler. And some of the moves look cool. They're really brutal. Dane fights like fucking Batman somehow, you know, he's kicking these dudes' asses. And then they show further into the game, there's another part where you're walking around in buildings and he's picking up clues and stuff like that. So it's going to be a combination of walk around, picking up clues, and brawling. And then when the game goes into the stuff that would be cutscenes, it's real actors and stuff, and it's going to transition in and out of that. So that's all interesting. The story is basically this girl gets kidnapped, whatever reason. Songstress gets kidnapped by a dude in a mask. They're doing a good job of trying to make it grab people's attention to get intrigued by this game in the lead up, because they put out on their Twitter these two notes that were like, they're written in, you know, like serial killer cut out paper, different letters from like Zodiac killer style, I suppose. Bunch of different letters off the stuff and cut them all out. And they like, the first note says, a caged bird cannot sing what she believes to be an open sky, must be a cramped of cells, a moonlit prison where nights shine as bright as day. She realizes there is no escape. Then the end comes. The caged bird can sing no more. I shall set her free. Then she might sing again. So this is the serial killer. Well, we don't know if he's a serial killer, but this is the bad guy obsessing over her. And then note 2 reads, the lying black tiger watches over the cage again today. I'm not sure what that is. I presume that is her like boss at the club or something like that. I don't really know. And it says, sing, sing, he gently growls, but the frightened bird stays silent. The pitiful tiger bristles with anger and eyes it hungrily. But look, a bird who hears no sound strains his ears from the corner of the cage, which must be Dane, the protagonist.
I'm pretty sure those are Bray Wyatt promos.
Yeah, what?
Wrestling, Bray Wyatt.
Wrestling reference.
Follow the buzzards, everybody. Follow the buzzards.
But I'm intrigued. Like, I have problems with the gameplay stuff, but does any of this other stuff interest any of you? Because we're looking at, as I said, a 3-hour-ish experience that they want you to kind of play through in one sitting, and they haven't put down an exact price, but they were talking, you know, $20.
It has a problem. If it's $20, it has a problem of falling into the category of tech demo.
I suppose, yeah.
It has this problem of falling into a, cool, that was a really good, you know, that's a really good kind of example of what you could do between real, like, you know, full movie capture and CGI in gameplay. I hope it feels like a full experience, not just like a demo trying to advertise what can be done.
How about you, Ash?
Yeah, I'll wait and see. Was it in English? Because I was trying to find footage of the demo.
No, it's not in English.
No.
Oh, no, some of the audio is at the start, but like...
I think the gameplay was a bunch of
is that gonna
Japanese
mean there's
guys.
going to be like... So the movie parts weren't in English?
No, some of it was, and then some of the audio disappeared like it was
Oh, okay.
deleted.
Let's pray for like
I don't know, it's
old
weird.
style Japanese like dubbing.
No, because all the actors are white,
Oh, okay.
like,
Wow.
which is the what? What do you mean? Wow, I'm just saying, like, it's a Square Enix Japanese developed game, but it's not set
It's a
in
Western.
Japan with
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, it's
Western
Western
based.
territory. They're in New York or wherever the fuck they are, and
Yeah.
most actors are white that were in the
Okay.
game. It's not
I just
like
thought it
a
was set in Japan because nobody in like New York or anything or Western is quiet. Can't describe them as a quiet person.
oh my god.
Hey, Spider-Man!
Oh, please. But I'm intrigued. I will be following that one along because I just like the idea, and I find it interesting because it's doing basically the opposite of what David Cage would want to do. You know, because David Cage is all about kind of pushing that technology to the point where he can just animate stuff that looks like people, actually look like people. But this is, hey, the gameplay will still be CGI shit, but we'll just fucking use real actors. We're not even trying to hide it. So,
Do you reckon that's cheaper?
I would presume it's way fucking cheaper.
Yeah.
Way cheaper.
So why isn't
Yeah.
it done more often then?
Because it can't do it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, games since forever have always been trying to put real actors and stuff. Well, like, what series does it a lot? Like Command and Conquer? Is that the one?
Command
where
and Conquer did.
Command and Conquer does it, but there's no fade in and out. It's just their cutscenes between the strategy maps.
Yeah.
But even back then, it was like, I think it's just jarring for people, and for certain people, they may not like this game simply because even though CGI these days looks really good, and as I said, you can still tell, obviously, that's not the real actors. They look like them, but you can tell what's filmed and what's not. I still think that that's just going to be so jarring for a certain number of people that they will simply not want to play the game for that. Like, they would just prefer it all to be CGI. So it's more consistent, I guess, is the problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever played, side note, have any of you ever played I can't remember the exact genre for them, but any of those games that are all like film stuff?
I played one recently in the last couple years. That was like a murder mystery game on Steam, and it was only like $5-10. Give me a second.
Wasn't there that big, the one that got all the Game Awards, Her Story or something?
Oh yeah, Her Story, yeah. Her Story is a good example, yeah. I never actually played Her Story. Rip. I should have, but missed out. I played one. I actually enjoyed it. I played it for trophies.
Of course.
But I actually ended up enjoying it. It's called the Bunker. Yeah, I think something like that. It was interesting because it's set underground. I can't remember the exact premise, but it's like set underground, apocalypse or something. So think like Fallout Shelter, but not as many people. But I think because of that, and then it was like, of course, something goes wrong and blah, 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 blah. But I find it interesting because I hadn't played one since I was probably 10 years prior to this, because I kind of forgot how it all works. But it's so funny because the actor will run to the end of a hallway or whatever, and it's like pauses and like kind of freezes. And it's like, do you want to go left or right? And then you think about it for a minute and you click left, and then it continues running off to the left, cuts of fades in and out between the parts they've recorded and stuff. I don't know. It's actually an interesting genre, whatever the official name is, because I can't remember. It's an interesting genre that I kind of wish they,
isn't it?
Is it just do they just call it full motion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, FMV. Yeah, I suppose.
FMV.
It's an interesting genre that I'd actually like to see more games in, simply because they're weird. They're cool. I
played. I can't find the name of it, but the game was just like a point and click adventure, but FMV, and the characters you talk to. So that that thing that LA Noire kind of tried to do with the whole Tales bullshit, where our animation.
Are they lying?
Yeah, so you could do that easier, I guess, as a thing. But yeah, it's pretty good. It was interesting.
Remember those heaps in the 90s?
There were so many.
Bring them back.
Well, then there was also that thing that was it Quantum Break on the Xbox, where they They had the TV show that you'd watch at different sections throughout the whole game.
I brought that when it was on sale for $10 or whatever. I still haven't got to it. But my problem with is PlayStation show, but sidetrack. My problem with it is I need to look up how exactly I go about playing it, because I remember reading all these stories about people being like, well, you have to play a certain part of the game, and then you basically have to stop playing, go watch an episode, and then come back to the game.
I think it in you go to a level and then it streams the episode for you.
Yeah, but I think you can skip it and not watch it. But people say that if you don't watch the actual TV episode thing, you'll continue on through the game and be like, "The fuck's happening? What? I was supposed to get vital information." Oh, at which point I would argue, don't make the episode skippable. But then people get angry they can't skip.
Yeah, exactly.
20-minute, half hour, whatever the fuck it is.
And people were super annoyed that you couldn't that it was all you didn't download. You couldn't just download the TV shows. You had to stream them.
Mm-hmm. People who have shitty internet couldn't just be like, I'll download old episodes overnight so I can be ready to play the game tomorrow. Instead, I have to wait until I get to a certain point in the game and then let it buffer as I go make my tea or fucking whatever,
Apologies to 80% of Australia.
Yeah. I'm never moving, putting this out here now, I'm never moving somewhere without NBN.
Oh, yeah. No, if I move house, the first
back.
thing I do is put the potential address into the thing of, is this house
NBN
NBN ready? No, I'm not interested. Thanks.
I wouldn't even move to one that's coming soon or some shit like that. Because even if it said, hey, it's going to be coming a month from when you move in, I'd be like, I don't fucking trust you. Yeah, bullshit's right. Wouldn't trust that shit for 1 second. But yeah, bring back those types of games. They're an interesting little subgenre. And I mean, the market's flooded with so much shit these days. I don't know why those types of games can't exist in their own little part of everything else. All right, so the biggest gaming event thing that happened last week, QuakeCon 2018, where there's lots of shooting and esports.
Come join
Ciaran.
the Quake Arena esports event, where
Yes.
we will be doing the best of the best of the best of a game that is yet to be fully released.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still don't understand any of that. Luckily, we will not really be talking about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's they hold an esports thing for a game. It's not out, but it's been in beta for what, 3 years?
I was
Something
only going to
I'd-
say 2, but maybe 3. I might have missed a year.
Yeah, it's
Chance.
long enough. And then they have other events for whatever the fuck else. Bunch of Blizzard games anyway. It's
Yep.
a Blizzard. Not Blizzard.
Bethesda.
Bethesda games. Yeah. Ciaran's like, Blizzard? Did you say Blizzard?
Blizzard, hey,
Blizzard,
Blizzard.
You got
How you
BlizzCon? You got BlizzCon
doing?
up there.
Do you want to get a BlizzCon, guys? Hi.
But QuakeCon, so there was stuff there. If you walked around the event, you'd see Wolfenstein, Fallout, and whatever the fuck else. But mainly everyone was there to hear the news, and people that stayed up. I didn't personally stay up because I don't care enough about the franchise. Maybe if it was, but I know a lot of people did stay up to just catch the Doom event. I saw a lot of people all over Twitter in our Australian spectrum of people. I don't know what you call it. Stayed up to watch it. Does anyone here care about Doom?
I wish I did. Because I still haven't played the first one.
I'm going to
Like
shock
the-
you all.
Do you mean the first one
I
or
have
the,
not either.
Like the reboot.
Okay.
I've not played. I've watched my dad play that game, or bits and pieces, or I had to do a section of the game for him because he's too old. But
Oh, what a
I
good son
know.
you are. What a good
I know,
son.
it's
Help
one
him
of
out
them.
with that Doom
one of
game. Kill
them.
them demons for him.
but
If
I
you were
haven't-
less mature, you would have told him to get good.
Hey, Dad, get good. Get fucked, boy.
So I wish I'd played the first one, and there's still time. I think it always looks like fun. It always looks entertaining. It's just I'm just like
You
Why
like
sh-
first-person shooters.
well, but why shoot that one in first person when I could be a little English lady flashing around the place and shooting people?
What are you flashing?
Flashing what?
flashing through space-time continuum.
Again,
Sure.
what?
Again, what? And I think Ash's answer is, you know how I feel about first-person shooters right now,
Yeah.
Dylan. Yeah, I figured as much. So I got the game. I think I got it release day. Thinking I was actually excited. I mean, watching all the trailers, all that sort of stuff. I was excited. Picked it up. I think I played a couple levels and was like, nah, it's not working. It's not hitting a spot. Because the thing about it is if you've been running through your COD campaign, your Battlefield campaign, whatever first-person shooter of a campaign you've been running through, you boot up Doom, and you're meant to be sliding across the floor. You're not right-clicking or whatever on your controller, left stick press L2ing or whatever to fucking bring up close scope. What's that called?
To cross to
Aim.
iron sights. To aim,
Yeah, iron sights. Thank you. You're not iron sights. You're
Zoom.
meant to be just floating across the ground, just shooting demons left, right, and center with your shotgun or whatever the fuck else. And you're meant to be doing it in style, and you're meant to feel like a badass, but there's fuck all story, and you're meant to just be flying around doing this. And I reached a part where I died like 10 times in a row, and I'm like, I'm playing on normal. I just feel like I don't understand how to play the game correctly. Like, I watch people play it, and it's majestic. There is a certain level of majesticness to watching someone fly around in this game, and they're just pow, 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 and then they melee a dude, rip it out, and then they're out the door into the next room, and the music's fucking amazing. The Doom soundtrack's great. That's the other thing. And then they're in and out, and they're going. And then my other big problem was, every time I'd reload back into the game after dying, the music would kick in again. You're like, yeah, fucking badass, and they'll die 10 seconds later and be like, huh. Reload. Die. Oh. Like,
I think
don't really
the other
feel
problem,
like a
every time
badass.
I'd watched a stream or watched a Let's Play, there was like people would fight, they'd have this really cool fighting section, and then after each fighting section, half the time there would be a 10-minute section of them being lost. just completely.
Oh, really?
Where do I go? And it would be on every stream I'd watch, and I'd be like, is there a problem with the map in this game, or is it not obvious, or am I just picking the silly people that don't know how to navigate, or I don't know. It was just weird.
Maybe. I mean, I don't recall getting that. I don't recall getting lost, but I didn't get that far in the game. But with all that said, I watched the gameplay. I watched all the gameplay videos they dropped from this event. I want to play the game. They got me hooked. Now, what gets me hooked is I'm sitting there watching, and the music kicks in at around 2 minutes or 3 minutes into that gameplay, and I'm like, fuck yes, this song is the best. This is some shit. Yes, fuck yes, kill them all. And then they're flying around, and he's fucking like grappling people, fucking rips some dudes apart, shooting dudes, body parts going everywhere. I'm like, yeah, fuck demons. This music's great. Fuck yes, this game's gonna be awesome. And then I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna die a million times over, and I'm not gonna be able to play it anywhere near as good as the person in that gameplay does.
You know what's funny is that Doom Guy is one of my favorite protagonists, but has absolutely no character. Like, zero character. He is just...
No one did back in the 80s, though.
I know, but even like currently, though, there's no character, but he's just awesome. You're just like, yeah, Doom Guy's the fucking... He knows what's going on. He's fucking a boss.
Yeah. Apparently they're like... They said they're going to be doing more of the story in this one. As we saw in the teaser at E3, it is hell on earth. Right, there's the thing, and they say whenever I read interviews or I saw them say it in the video, they say it like if you've played the first game to the completion, it seems like something that should make sense. Like something apparently I assume something happens at the end of that game that when they're like it's hell on earth because you've played the first game and this should make sense because of whatever happened at the end of that game. But I'm like I didn't finish it, so I don't know how we got to this stage, but interesting. Is an interesting premise though, and they seem to be adding a little bit more character to the game because you see in the gameplay as they're moving around through the level, there's these like holographic lady popping up as they're making the way through like a shopping center. I don't know where the fuck it's supposed to be, but this lady's like, you know, not all demons are bad, and remember they don't really want to do evil to you, and they were born that way. You know, like weird shit like this. So it's piqued my interest as what's this like some alternate history where demons come down and take over Earth, and you've got these people up fucking doing propaganda
like the
for demons
of the world, just trying to hug the demons.
Yeah, I know it's weird because, and then there's also humans in this one because as far as I'm aware, there wasn't actually humans in the first one. It was just all monsters and demons and stuff like that. But this one has got humans, and I'm like, are they working? So there's humans working for the demons in this weird hell on earth where they're trying to tell you that the demons aren't bad, and how does Doom Guy show up here? Maybe I do need to go back and play the first game. Now this, maybe I will, because I did pick it up on sale once. It was fucking $6 or some shit like that at Christmas time, and I was like, I had zero plans to play it, but I think at the time they just put in the 4K patch, and I was like, $6? Maybe it's worth paying $6 just to check out, to see how much better the game looks in 4K and run. It'll probably run better on my Pro now because I'm gonna unconfirmed. I'm gonna assume that the frames might be higher on Pro or something like that. So who knows? All in all, though, PlayStation podcasts, the game is a lot harder to play with the controller than keyboard and mouse. Doom is just a game that's just designed for fast, move, go, and when you're playing it on with a controller, it's just impossible to reach the level of fluidity that I feel you need to be able to swing around that shotgun to do everything as well as you need to do. So some of the details I showed was you're going to have a super shotgun, which is weapon returning, which is going to have a meat hook in it. So you can fucking hook enemies and like bring them to you, and that looks pretty badass. But then you can also use the meat hook to like strap it into enemies and then use that way as a traversal method. So you can like hook a demon and then like swing across to the other side of somewhere and all sorts of shit like that. And that looks cool. And then one of the big OMG moments that went around on Twitter, and I'm not, as a huge non-Doom fan, even I, when it reached this part, was like, oh, that's fucking pretty fucking badass, guys. Which is at the end of one of the videos, this demon shows up and he lights up a fucking huge fuck off laser sword, and he begins running towards it, and then of course the trailer ends, and I was like, oh, that's a cool looking laser sword. Maybe I want to play this game. Laser swords, Ciaran. I don't know if you know that.
I've got Halo for that.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna have new and old enemies in it. and you can check out the gameplay videos on. I don't know. I watch them on IGN Plug. So you got a 7-minute gameplay one, which is on Earth. That's cool. Then you've got a one which is on Phobos, which is one of Mars's moons, and that's the one you want to watch because it's got the fucking laser sword in it.
Fucking laser swords, people.
Laser swords are cool. But I would say the most interesting aspect out of this whole Doom news thing is this new mode they're bringing in, which is an invasion mode, which is basically Dark Souls for Doom. So you're going to be able to invade other players' games in a Doom game. And then you can team up with other Doom people to work together, or you can kill each other, I assume. Out of all the interesting mechanics that you could steal from other games, or steal's a bit of a lengthy term, but mechanics that you could borrow and work into a Doom game, this is not one that I would assume would be a thing.
No,
but
it's interesting. It seems that would break up the action quite a bit, which I think would be interesting.
I just killed this fucking demon with a laser sword. Oh, fuck, it's another player, run! I'm dead. Brilliant. Oh, my checkpoint didn't work. I got to do a demon again now. Fuck you. Turn off the mode. No, I don't want to be online anymore. Chuck PlayStation outside window. Fuck you, internet.
Oh, I see how that'll happen.
How do you feel about now that you've got so there's no release date, but we can all assume it's going to come out in 2019. If I was a betting man, I would say they release it shortly after E3. Like, they come out at E3, show another trailer or whatever, and they're like,
I think it'd
be
be fucking awesome if they were just like, hey, it's out. Okay,
you gotta give some leeway for pre-orders and whatever the fuck else they want to do.
Nah.
You know there's going to be a collector's edition.
Yeah. Collector's Edition will get it to you in like a week. But if you want to download it, here. And if you've ordered it, go see your game store. They'll give you a code to download it as well. Because
Maybe.
who the fuck wants digital media? Not digital media.
Hearing all the deets and the meats,
Physical.
make you want to go play the first one a little bit more now, Ken?
Well, while you were talking, I listened to you and I opened Steam on my PC.
Oh, dear.
And it's currently $10.
Oh, that would make sense because with QuakeCon just
Yeah.
going on.
So I'm
that
like,
makes sense.
oh, wait, grab it on my PC.
Yeah. As I said, PlayStation podcast, but I would still, it's just undoubtedly
How
the
far,
way to
like,
play it.
PlayStation's, has it already happened or they were going to bring in mouse and keyboard support?
I mean, I'm sure they've got it, but it's still just not going to be, I don't think it's ever configured as well or runs as well.
fair.
If you're just playing a straight up PC game. Ash has been over there twiddling his thumbs. I highly doubt anything I've said has made him want to play it, but
No, I'm
over to
good.
Ash. No, I'm good, he says.
I'll watch it.
And
I'll watch you guys play it.
And
Should
give
watch
us
that-
crap for dying.
watch that gameplay video.
Yeah.
Laser swords.
Laser swords, actually. Change
Laser
your mind.
swords.
Change your whole new world.
I mean, I gave zero fucks. That's why I didn't stay up to watch the thing. And then I saw a laser sword and I heard the music. And I was like, I will pre-order the vinyl soundtrack. I want to play the game. I'll try and play the first one again. You've got me hook, line, sinker. Done it.
Props to their marketing team.
I don't even know if it was marketing because they didn't do much. They were just like, here's the game by someone playing it who's good at it, which makes it look really good. And they're like, you can do this too.
Well, if they didn't put the music against it, then
Oh man, that music. I might rewatch it later just for that song. I don't know if I need to look up if that song's from the first one or if it's a song from the sequel. Because if it's from the first one, I don't recall it. I'll need to go listen to it after we finish recording.
Didn't the Doom soundtrack win awards and stuff as well?
I feel like it did probably.
I think it did. I remember it being at the
BAFTAs.
the Game Awards. At the BAFTAs?
I think
Sure.
it was. The BAFTAs do.
Good on your Brits.
BAFTAs do video game stuff.
BAFTAs.
They actually treat video games as a serious
They do. They do indeed.
medium.
They treat it fairly.
That's right. The other thing interesting that came out of this was we got some Rage 2 news. Avalanche, speaking to IGN at QuakeCon, confirmed that they are the primary developer for Rage 2.
So it's like Mad Max,
Yeah.
but better.
Quote,
Yep.
we at Avalanche are making the game, said director Magnus Ned Fors. What a name.
What an awesome name.
What a name. Yeah, that's a good name.
He's probably a Viking as
He
well.
probably is. He told me that it'd be blah, blah, blah. Since day one, we have written the code, we have made the art and that stuff. It's close collaboration still with the people at id, learning from them when it comes to shooting and so on. The influence is clear. Blah, blah, blah. They've taught us a lot about the id style of combat. Blah, 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 blah. Still want us to make the game. So as far as I understand it, and they're not shouting out, oh, it's done this much, blah, blah, blah. We're doing this much. It seems it's very much basically an Avalanche game. Which makes me personally happy. A lot more excited for the game. Because that is the aspect that I was most intrigued by when they announced it, as someone who really liked Mad Max. How do you feel about Avalanche kind of confirming that they're heads of it?
I was interested in Rage anyway, and I think that's a good thing. As long as they do, keep that id style of combat, it should be good.
Yeah. Ash?
Yeah, seems like a good combination. So, yeah,
still a first-person shooter, and you're like, I don't care.
Yep. Yeah.
We did. The one thing I was hoping to see out of QuakeCon I didn't, which is I wanted to see some vehicle shit. I want to see convoys and some of that stuff that I really enjoyed from Mad Max making into this. But
Yeah.
there's still time to win me over.
When is the game out? Next year? Is it?
No, isn't it late this year
Or TBD?
or early next year or something? They're already a collector's edition.
No, I think it's February. It was one of the February games.
It
It was March or Feb.
Yeah, sometime because they had the trailer for the collector's edition was in that trailer they showed at E3 and everything. Like at one stage they
June
stop
next
and
year.
look on the TV and they're like, "Here's a trailer for our collector's edition. Look how smart our marketing
Did you say
team is."
June.
June, fucking
June.
June?
Yep.
Looks like Doom's not getting released in June then.
No.
No.
Doom, October next year.
Yeah, that makes
Why not?
sense. Maybe I'd rather see it in September. Like, do it September. Don't do October. September or November.
Well, we don't know what's
October.
going to be filling that ridiculous period next year.
Yeah,
yet,
but there's
so
always something
there's-
kind of
yeah.
big. There's always something big there.
Moving on. Bethesda has put the pressure on Sony about the crossplay shit.
Fuck yes.
So Bethesda's Pete Hines in an interview of Game Informer said, and this is speaking about Elder Scrolls Legends, card game, which is currently on mobile and PC.
The third best card game in digital markets.
It is our intention, in order for the game to come out, it has to be on those things on any system. We cannot have a game that works one way across everywhere else except for on this one thing. But those are essentially non-negotiable. We can't be talking about one version of Legends where you take your progress with you and another version where you stay within the ecosystem or it's walled off from everywhere else. That is counter to what the game has been about. Although he didn't mention Sony directly, he is basically saying that if Sony isn't willing to make the game crossplay with everything else, they will not be getting the game on their system, which I find interesting. It's good on them to say that. But Elder Scrolls Legends, if you don't know, very much a card game like Hearthstone and whatever else. So it's free to play. You buy booster packs, you buy the DLC, you buy the expansions, whatever else.
Yep.
If they put the game on PlayStation, they're going to make some amount of money off it. Either way, because people download it. Someone downloads it, they play it for 8 hours, they spend $30 on booster packs, they go, oh, fuck it. Guarantee that happens all the time with these types of games. Because they're so easy to grab people like me, and Ciaran's definitely the fucking same, who are just like,
Yep.
I'm only playing this. I've only played this game for half an hour, but yes, I should definitely spend $8 to $10 on buying shit already.
I've been playing Hearthstone more
Yes.
lately, and I'm like in the mode. I'm like, do I buy boosters or?
I think, Blizzard needs more of your money.
Blizzard barely get any of my money.
There was a sly grin that audio listeners. There's only audio listeners that listeners could not hear. But so I find this interesting because by them saying that, they're taking a stance.
I think they're setting up as well. I think I see this as them trying to position Sony in preparation for Fallout 76. A
what
little
way?
bit. I don't think they'll say no to Sony, but to Fallout 76. But if they can get Sony to budge on this, then Fallout 76 can then be crossplay.
Well, I mean,
Well, if they budge on this, then everybody's going to be crossplay.
Yeah, exactly. But that means, well, for Bethesda, when they're not, I don't know. They probably do care about everybody else because they're a good company. But with Fallout 76 on the horizon, they just released a whole bunch of information about it. It's been this big multiplayer project that they're working on. Of course, you want to try and get cosplay available for it.
It's like we're willing to take a stand on the crossplay thing with our card game, but we're not going to take the stand on Fallout. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. They won't do that for Fallout just because of what.
Yeah,
Fallout
they'll lose way too much money if they took the stand on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
take the stand on the card game though. Yeah,
on the card game.
I still give props.
You're just playing chicken. You're playing chicken with
Here's my thing, though. Sony's not going to play chicken with Elder Scrolls Legends.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
They're not going to be like, oh, fuck. Xbox is going to have Elder Scrolls Legends and all these other... Nintendo Switch Elder Scrolls Legends. Fuck. We should really...
Rocket League couldn't get it to do it.
Or Fortnite.
Fortnite couldn't get them to do it. But Elder Scrolls Legends,
that's
go.
The one.
You
that's
go,
the
boys.
Point, yeah.
That's the tipping section where it's like, whoa, okay, crap. We've only got Gwent already on our system. We better save this one.
I appreciate the effort, though, I suppose, is the thing. Like, I appreciate...
Is it just grandstanding by Bethesda? Just trying
That's
to
the
look like they're
chipping
trying to
point.
do something, but really they're, just a mad bluff?
It would take more people doing the same thing. And it doesn't even have to be... It doesn't even have to be... It even takes one big game to do it, like Fallout 76, which isn't going to happen. It's going to take one big person to do that, like Fallout 76, or it'll take a bunch of smaller games to do it, I think. Like a bunch of Elder Scrolls Legends. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So I don't...
The coalition of Elder Scrolls Legends.
The coalition. The fellowship of the card games. We're going to take Gwent with us.
Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, I this isn't going to achieve fuck all.
Yeah, probably not. Good try, Bethesda.
Good job, Bethesda. We appreciate your effort, but I doubt this makes any fucking difference. What the big difference is, you just take Fortnite away. You take Fortnite away for even a week. If they were like, we're going to take Fortnite off PlayStation for a week, it's coming back in a week, but you're going to lose, I don't know, a couple $1 million. Like, all this V-Bucks money that people aren't going to be spending in 1 week time. I don't know how much money people spend on Fortnite, but you would have to assume.
Well, they're constantly releasing new items and new things to buy. Like, every time even if I flicker onto a random screen or if I see a screenshot on Twitter, it's of a new item or a new skin that's just come out.
They're doing...
And you can only buy them with V-Bucks.
They're doing them right. That free-to-play module.
I saw a post on a community group today that was like, damn, I don't have the money for 350 V-Bucks to buy this emote. God damn it.
What is life? What do you do with that? How much money you spend on Fallout Shelter, Ash?
0.
You're fucking doing it wrong.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah. Have you got the platinum yet?
No.
Oh, you're not going to help me transition to hashtag every trophy counts then, are you? God
no, I don't, sorry.
God damn. Are you close?
No, I don't think so.
You told me you was going to do it, though.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, sorry.
You can do it, Ash. You can do
These
it.
100 objectives, I think that's going to be the hardest one. Or the grindiest one.
You've got it. We all...
Yeah.
You've got it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
To get more platinums than Ciaran.
Yeah.
Yep. Do it. I've only got 5 so far this year.
I've got 1.
Boy, oh boy, is December going to be a fun month for me in PlayStation.
So, years and years ago, actually, when I set myself like 5-6 years ago or something like that, I think my goal might have been something like 50 at the time. But like not in 1 year, but like to reach 50 by the end of the year. I can't remember how I had. And no shit, New Year's Eve, I was at 99. And it's like 11:30, and I can't. My family's all out there drinking, celebrating, whatever. The last half hour, I'm in my room playing the Sonic's All-Star fucking Sega Genesis collection for the second time because I'm like, I have half a fucking hour to get this platinum, or else I'm a failure. And this is before no one knew about this bar me. It's just like my own goal in my head. But I'm sitting in there like I cannot fail myself.
Oh boy, oh boy,
True
oh boy,
story.
oh boy.
All right. So I got a couple trophy lists that popped. 3 Last one's the most interesting one. But first, slash remind me on Apocalypse Rider. It's a VR game. Trophy list looks fucking easy. Looked it up on Steam, because that's where the games are. Came out like a couple years ago. It is, you drive down a highway on a motorcycle, and then you're just dodging cars in like a 3-lane thing. So if it doesn't give you motion sickness, I would say it's an easy platinum for any VR owners. However, I could see it giving you motion sickness pretty fucking easy. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. So we'll find out on that one. Another one was Wailing Heights, which is an adventure point-and-click game. But it grabbed my attention because it popped on the PSN profiles. Has 1 plat, 11 gold. Which automatically I'm like, oh, how are you doing, game? How's I tripped my fucking triply at you? It released on Steam 2 years ago. So one has to presume that whatever the trophy,
So there's
going to be a guide
for
already.
it.
So the game comes out, it's automatically like there's going to be a Steam guide to help you get that platinum pretty easy. So that's another one to keep your eye on. The most interesting one, though, this week, Walking Dead final season is out today at, I think it's like 2 p.m. If you're listening to this if you're listening to this right at 12 p.m. as it's dropped, the game is out in a couple hours.
Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure Telltale tweeted out like a breakdown of like
the times and stuff like that.
Super nice.
Yeah, they're
Good
nice.
work, Telltale.
Nice people over there at Telltale.
Consider it.
Good on you, Telltale.
So the trophy list is up. You can see it. I nearly didn't click on it because I was just naive and was just going to be like,
No, it'll be the same as every other Telltale game.
yeah, it'll be the same. But clicked on it anyway because I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll see if they've updated their pictures. Which first, I'd like to shout out, yes, they have finally updated the trophy images. This is a thing that some people actually care about, like myself, because sometimes you open up a game's trophy list and all the trophies are just like the same image, or they're like a picture of something and then the silver trophies are like silver tinted and the gold ones are gold tinted, blah, blah, blah. Telltale games have a habit of having boring trophy images. This time, they've got good ones. So there's the thing, clap, clap for that. But, most interestingly, they've completely fucked with the trophy system. And I don't even mean just here's one random missable trophy, which like Minecraft has had, Wolf Among Us had one trophy which required you like an extra half an hour of work to go make one different decision. I mean, this thing is, I'm scared. I'm just going to put it out there straight away. I'm scared.
You're scared?
I'm scared. Here's the history of Walking Dead Plat's trophy list in case you don't know, because they just like to fuck with this game apparently. Season 1, very easy. Just beat the game, get a plat. Season 2, they're like, beat the game, but you don't get a plat. Fuck you. Season 3, they're like, we'll go back to that. Here's all the things, plus a plat. Season 4, they're like, let's go every fucking where. The game's got fucking collectibles. The game's got a bunch of fucking trophies for like catching fish, killing fish, a bunch of other shit. There's like...
Zombie fish?
I don't know. I'm very confused. I'm scared. So at the top of the list, here's your 3 normal trophies, which is complete Act 1, complete Act 2, complete Act 3. And then everything from there is fucked.
Wait, are there only 3 acts? 3 episodes?
There's 4 episodes, 3 acts in each.
Oh, okay.
That's all of it.
Wait, there's only 4 episodes in this season?
There's only 4 episodes.
That's what?
Yep. 4
How am I supposed to
episodes.
be able to say
Each episode
goodbye
has
to Clem?
collectibles. Each episode has random tasks,
but Dylan.
like spearing fish.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to Clementine in 4 episodes' time.
Well,
Don't worry, there'll be a special DLC epilogue.
yeah, I mean, yeah. But it won't have
Special
Clementine in
if
it.
you buy the special collector's
It
edition.
won't have Clementine in it because she'll probably be dead.
Depends on
Why
your
the
choices.
fuck would you say that?
She'll probably. Well, I'm just preparing
No.
myself for
No,
that.
well, yeah, I was looking at one of the trophies. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this fucking. Oh, let me find it. I'll bring it up right now to scare
Trophies.
you. Because I'll bring it up right now. I'll read
Don't.
you the description of it.
No.
'Cause
Stop it.
They've done it pretty well because obviously, because the trophy list, as with all their games, is only one list. But it's never been a problem about spoilers because obviously each game, although there would be some title for it, they would just be like complete chapter 1, complete chapter 2, blah blah blah. But now that they've put in specific things, you had to worry about spoilers. But they're still pretty all over the place. But if you go down to the last episode, here are the last episode's trophies. Complete Act 1, 2, 3. Then there's one called Goodbye. It says did all you could with a hand reaching out. There's another one that says you and me came full circle, 2 people standing together. There's one called Promise with 2 people holding hands that says said you'd never leave. Then there's one called Lost and Found which says, found Clem's hat. It's got a picture of Clem's hat.
Oh, for the all our listeners, Ciaran just reeled back in horror.
What are you going to do? It's got a really...
Who's finding Clem's hat?
The
Clem.
platinum image is really nice too. It's got the platinum for this game is...
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it's like a waking up scene and she's just lost her hat?
Fuck no, please don't. So the trophies for...
No.
To give everyone an example, if you're listening to this at 12 o'clock and you're planning to jump in at 2 o'clock or whatever, for episode 1, you've got complete Act 1, 2, 3, and then you've got Tickle Monster, which is Tickled AJ, Nothing Wasted, which says used all traps in capitals, Lost Love, found Heart Graffiti, Upstream, speared all fish, Where's the Candy, hit all pinata swings, Rabbit Season, shot all rabbits, and then one called Good Girl, which just says Rosie. Now, throughout the other couple episodes, there are dog-related trophies, so I presume that Clem has a dog or one of her friends has a dog and something like this. And then there's one called Scavenger, which is found all the collectibles. And then there's another one called To Make It Look Nice, which says placed all the collectibles. And every game has these exact same 2 similar collectibles trophies about finding them all and placing them all. But yeah, it's all over the place. Like episode 2 has a trophy called Great Girl, which says Or Rosie. So there's another dog one. And then episode 3 has Best Girl, which just simply says Rosie. However, as you'll note, when I read out episode 4's trophies, there is not a dog-related one, so let's just presume it fucking dies in episode 3.
Or it dies in episode 4, and that's what all the things...
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no.
Goodbye.
Maybe the dog
Did
finds
all
Clem's
you could.
hat. Yep. The next season of The Walking Dead is going to be based around the dog.
The poor little dog. I'm still not over like Futurama's dog, let alone this one.
So what do we think about the trophies?
Fuck the trophies. Can I go back to Cambodia now?
Is that what you were? Jesus, that's a ways off the track.
How do you know when you're in the crate?
I don't know. But they were talking Cambodianese.
I don't think that's
a language.
It is.
How do you know Cambodianese?
Because I was there.
Ash literally just face palmed.
My head hurts.
So my problem with the trophies though is this, and I think I can't remember if we've talked about it before in an episode or not. It's a very like first world trophy hunter problem to have, but my
all
favorite
trophy hunters first world.
yeah, I mean that's true. It's a trophy hunter problem to have though, which is that I quite enjoyed, because the game's about choices and all this other stuff. The best thing about the trophy list for Telltale games normally is you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to have an inkling of something in the back of your mind.
It's not going to be like your choice is one of the choices, but you have to go back and go do the other choice to get a trophy.
I don't want to do that shit.
Which is so stupid because it's like, oh, my playthrough now means kind of nothing because
that's the thing that annoys me. The idea of just fucking with my playthrough. And people argue, well, that's just trying to get the trophies, blah, 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 blah. Look, it's not a small minority of people trying to get the trophies. There's quite a large percentage of people playing these games that are going to be trying to get the platinum and are going to have similar problems. I've already read people in forums complaining about this, which is the first thing I thought as soon as I saw the trophy list as well. However, I don't know if any of these are going to be hard. You know, like hit all the pinata swings. Okay, if I don't hit all the pinata swings, can I simply load back into that section of the game easy enough and do it later? Or do I have to replay the whole fucking game? Because if that's what I've got to do, I'm going to have a problem. That's where I'm having issues. But other games, say for instance, when you had to reload back into a certain section in Wolf Among Us to look in a certain book, I can't remember exactly what it was, but you could click on the episode and then you could skip around the certain, like, the 6 to 8 chapters, right? Yeah. And that was easy enough. So as long as this game allows you to do that, I've got no problem. Fine. That's it. If that's not an easy solution, I'm going to be quite annoyed, and you'll hear all about it next week, week when we're fucking on the show.
I'm hoping they only allow you one playthrough, and then you can't play it again.
Fucking delete your save.
Yeah.
Please no. Yeah, because then
no,
there's
like the
about...
game won't let you start again.
No.
Ash, you are walking a fine line here, my friend. The box can be made smaller.
The other thing I found interesting, and I didn't know about this, so I would presume that this has already been talked about, but I had no idea because I hadn't been reading about the final season because I was still planning on playing season 3, which I wrapped up last week on twitch.tv/Explosion Network, is that this game has collectibles. That's the first time Telltale's done collectibles. So not only is this the final season, but we can kind of see signs here of the new Telltale, or the Telltale we're going to be getting in the future, not just amongst the trophy list, but also the collectibles and all these other things. But then you think about it and you're like, well, Life is Strange had collectibles. And a lot of people say that those games are better than,
Telltale, yeah.
Telltale.
Yeah.
So I think this is definitely, although this isn't in the new engine, I presume Wolf Among Us Season 2 is going to be new engine.
I'm pretty sure
first
I
game.
heard Stranger Things is the first thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. But although this isn't in their new engine, you can kind of see signs of their change in the way they're going to go about making the games, I guess, with even the stuff like collectibles. They're trying to change it so it's not just that play the game, you can sit back, relax. It's kind of like just clicking buttons for a movie. They're trying to add a bit more gameplay. I don't know what you'd exactly call it, I guess. They're trying to add a bit more, but change.
Trying to make a variety, break the hearts of trophy hunters everywhere.
Well, it's not just the trophy hunters. The collectibles is something for... I guarantee people who don't even care about trophies will want to get all the collectibles, who care about these games.
The thing I found interesting, because the way Life is Strange did collectibles, was that I wanted to find them because I had such a sentimental connection with that game.
In the first season? The photographs?
Yeah, the first season, yeah. Like the photos, because it felt like collecting memories. Like it felt like taking pictures of these memories and like holding them there. And I like the way, you already had the picture with like the stencil outline of what the picture was.
We're filling in a scrapbook.
Find it? Yeah. So, yeah. Hopefully they do it right.
Well, judging off the trophies, you're going to be finding collectibles and then you're going to be
Hopefully
placing
there's no
them.
bullshit collectibles that's like, you have to go at like one point, Clem has to decide which way
Yeah,
she
and the
runs,
collectibles in some
and
certain
if-
direction. That's the shit I'm talking about.
And if the collectible's not, if you don't go right, you can't get the collectible.
So then you're
It's
forcing people to make
Replay.
decisions just based on collectibles and stuff. That's the thing that annoys me. That's I don't know. We're gonna.
Yeah, I think they're smart enough not to do that.
I hope so.
Are they?
I hope so.
Guardians of the Galaxy was a thing, and they weren't smart enough to make that game good.
Boom, boom, bam, 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 bam. Nah, fuck that game of shit. Ash, it's a day away. Are you actually? What is your plan? What is your plan with the Walking Dead games?
What's your problem with The Walking Dead?
What is
Ash?
your
I
plan?
don't have
What
a
is
problem
your
with
problem?
it. I haven't played it.
Yes.
Why have it so clearly you have a problem with it? Do you not want to find a new like emotional connection? Do you not want to just have Clementine in your life?
Clearly not. I saw your reaction. Maybe I don't want to be attached again.
I'm just I've watched this kid grow up. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us this week on Platinum Explosion.
Whoa,
If
whoa,
you're
whoa,
trying
whoa,
to-
We can't be a good, self-respecting video game show and not talk about Red Dead Redemption. Because that trailer was dope.
Oh, you can talk about it. Go for gold.
Yeah.
Go for it, Ashley. This is your segment because
You haven't
I haven't
watched
watched
it?
it. I haven't
It was
watched
good.
I don't want to watch it. I'm refusing to watch it. I just want to leave myself empty. Like I just want to
Wow.
play the game. I just don't. I'm taking my stance with movies on this, where I'm like, I've watched the first trailer. I'm in. I don't want to see any more.
Well, maybe I won't talk about then because I don't want to spoil it.
Well, then we're not a good, upstanding gaming
That's
podcast,
true, yeah.
then are we, Ashley?
I know. I think it looks great. I'm intrigued to see the next gameplay footage. Yeah.
Do you want to play the game as well, or?
Yeah, I want to play the game.
I'm glad
I
you're
don't know.
looking
I'm
forward
getting
to it.
Fallout vibes from it. So
Oh, really?
just like quest, like
Yeah.
more characters and stuff. Yeah.
Quests and
Look,
stuff.
unless someone, before we record, let's put it out here on air now, unless one of yous say or write in the show notes or Slack or whatever before show, say, Dylan, I would like to talk about Red Dead. I'm not going to put it in the show because
Okay.
When
Did
the
you
host
watch
has
the
a
trailer?
personal vendetta.
no,
No? Okay.
I
You don't
I
think
have-
you can be swayed?
no, I honestly gives
Because you
so,
you just did not care about Doom at all, and now all of a sudden you care about Doom.
no, because I watched the first
What if there's a fire laser sword in Red
Yeah.
Dead
Fire
Redemption?
Laser Sword and Red Dead Redemption trailer, Ash.
No,
You'll
but
have
there's,
to watch the
there-
trailer
there's
to
horse
find out.
testicles, so...
Ash, you don't say no. You say you have to
Not
watch
this
the trailer
one.
to find out.
Not this one.
I'm so just like watching all the other trailers or whatever they've dropped so far, and then my short time with the first game. My care factor for this game is at nothing. It is literally
Yeah,
at
but
zero.
you're just not a Rockstar fan.
I don't think. I mean, I was.
You don't enjoy their
I
style
was
of game.
as a teenager, like most people were, I
Yeah.
suppose. But
But now you're like the sophisticated Dylan.
yeah, I haven't even played
You're
GTA
hipster.
5.
You're better than us. That's fine.
I haven't played GTA 5.
cool.
And even, yeah, so
You,
I'm happy. I'm not. That's why as I said yesterday to you or whenever it was. I'm happy that people are happy, and I'm not trying to be one of those people on Twitter that's like, "I don't fucking care about the game, fuck all," whatever.
he's just bragging about the fact that he's taken the moral high ground.
I
Yeah,
am
buddy.
because I see so many people be like, it's those tweets where people do it for. They even do it for movies and stuff. Like when Star Wars comes out, am I the only one who doesn't care about Star Wars? Am I the only one that doesn't care about Avengers? Like. No, I'm sure you're not, dude. Shut the fuck up. Why are you tweeting that? That's ridiculous. But yeah, the fact is I don't care about the game at all. Zero fucks. Even if I did care, the problem is and will be, that's coming out at such a weird time for us. That even if I was trying to care about the game, I'd be like, well, by the time I get to play it, it'll be a week after. There's this all this other shit that's coming out at the same time. I would probably, even if I had mild interest, just be like, nah, skip it. Because it's just out at such an odd time for us. Not for American and whatever else it is. It's because it times in with PAX here is the thing for listeners.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
comes out exactly when
fair.
PAX is. So then that's a whole trip. And then by the time we get home, whatever the fuck else is out at that time,
I don't think
Yeah.
anything else is
Dylan
out.
will be playing something on his Switch.
Well, I could be playing, I
his-
don't know. I could be playing fucking Spider-Man still. I don't know. Could be going for the plat still. How many collectibles are in that game, Ash? 500?
Still in like a month, like in almost 2
Yeah.
months.
Someone has to do work
yeah.
around here. Boom.
I'm working to get together the first Explosion Network esports team.
Yeah, you gonna make us money?
Yeah. What game?
Yeah,
Overwatch.
fucking right.
Who's the first player signed?
We've got to work on it. I've got to get my reputation up in the Overwatch community, and then we'll bring in a couple, home run hitters.
Home run hitters.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Some of those whales.
Tweet all your applications at your boy Ringo
There you go.
on Twitter.
yeah, if you want to join, your boy Ringo. If you want to come
The
join our
Explosion
esports.
Network's Overwatch team, squad.
No, just
Group?
the Explosion squad work. No, I'll think of a better name.
I hope so. Now, but before we end the show, since you won't be back on for another 12 weeks or whatever it is, anything you want to say to our dear listeners before you go back to Cambodia?
You know what? I'd like to take this moment to thank all you listeners who use the hashtag make Platt Ciaran again, because you made Dylan think about me in a time when he tried to forget me and probably sent me away to Cambodianism. But that's what he did. And you kept my spirit alive and you willed me back to my home to this podcast. So thank you. I've missed you. Good. I'll see you again.
Is that what the
Come see me
hashtag was?
early
I thought it was make Platt CIA ran again.
Ash, words hurt. What's really
Ash is in one of
happening?
his moods now, and he got them fires on.
He is. He is. You've dissed Red Dead Redemption. You've made him sit here and listen to us talk about first-person shooters. Ash is just a ball of rage. A ball of rage and frustration right now. And he's lashing out
I said
at us.
Doom. He flipped his phone out of his pocket so fast to twiddle or on that thing that I'd never seen it. It was like Doom, phone out. Let me check the sports ball scores. What's going on?
I was just fact checking. I was fact checking.
My Doom stuff? Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
You got it. Good job.
It
Doom
is
guy.
called Doom. Yeah,
No, it's called Doom
yeah. Doom
Eternal.
Eternal. Yeah, the
Got him.
franchise is called Doom.
Yeah.
I've never tried so hard to end a show. Thank you for joining us on Bottom Explosion this week, episode 73. Yeah, 73. It's been a good time. Thank you for allowing Ciaran back into your ear holes.
Thank you for letting me, just if you want to, there's more of me on early late nights. It's just me. It's even better. It's like the best part of this show cropped out and put into like a half an hour morsel, a half an hour tasty bite every Tuesday and most Fridays.
Got more music though, I hear.
Only every now and then, just to spice it up, just to really spice it up. I'm trying to enlighten your music tastes and your knowledge.
There you go. Follow Ciaran on Twitter at your boy Ringo, and then check out Early Late Nights, of course, on twitch.tv/Explosion Network, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays and Fridays. Not this Friday.
Boom. You do all right at this host and stuff. I've trained you well.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you had something to aspire to
You can follow Ash on Twitter at Ashley Hobley.
ASHLEYHOBLEY. It's a thing.
be. You let him do his
Yeah,
thing.
I gave him you taught
gave
me
him the
as a
nod,
host
like
to give
the,
someone a chance to come in with their thing, and that's what I just did. Then
Oh, Ash. That's
well-oiled
great. Good on you.
machine.
You've come such a long way.
like a well-oiled
in these 27
machine.
episodes I've missed. It's so great.
Fuck this
so,
episode. Help me, God. You can follow me on Twitter at VivaLadil. You can follow the show on at Platt Podcast on Twitter, at Platt Podcast. Don't forget to go onto the Apple Podcasts, as we clarified last week. Not iTunes, they're actually called Apple fucking Podcasts. Now, I said it,
Without the
got it right
fucking.
first time. Thank me, Ash. Last week when I said I'll change it to saying Apple Podcasts, I bet you was like, you'll fucking forget that. You won't do that, Dylan. But guess what? Did
No,
it.
I was pretty sure you'd do that.
Oh, I didn't
You
know you
just
had so
change
much
your
faith in me.
one doc and then completely forget about it.
Yeah.
Now, Ash, go
Thank
to
you.
your kitchen, grab a tea towel, bring it back to this. Just wipe up all the shit you just spilled over your desk. Fucking, just wipe it up.
If you don't want to rate it on there, word of mouth, of course, helps. Or just steal a friend's phone and fucking put it on there. The Ciaran way, they call it.
Definitely has not happened. We haven't done that yet.
Not once. I personally haven't.
What?
I know someone who does. Don't forget you can join our Discord to chat about games, movies, TV, any other random things, or send in questions for the show. explosionnetwork.com/Discord. That is our main form of talking to you. This is a product of the Explosion Network. You can follow that over on Twitter at ExplosionPod. You can head on over to explosionnetwork.com to find other shows, articles, news, reviews, and many more things. Platt. Thank God this episode is over. The Explosion Network's premier media podcast, What Do You Want to Watch, is a fortnightly show hosted by Ashley Hobley that covers the biggest stories in movies, TV, online media, and more before asking, what did we end up watching? Each episode, we discuss one particular movie or show that you can join in the discussion with by tweeting us, emailing, or posting on our Discord. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts or other podcasting services, or find the show at explosionnetwork.com. I already got so fucking scared.
Don't stop.
There's
Don't
that-
stop
there's that
rocking to the
sloth.
bang bang, Volty boy.
You know that sloth that was in the first trailer?
Of Ice
No,
Age.
Fuck off. Fucking Fallout, cunt.